country's foreign policy is the aggregate of her domestic needs, goals, and aspirations. To this end, the Diaspora this week, in a brand new year, will be discussing Nigeria's foreign policy direction vis-a-vis her domestic agenda of change. The Diaspora will also be discussing Nigeria's healthcare delivery system, with some Nigerian diasporans embarking on medical missions aimed at providing healthcare needs for the less privileged in the society. Of course, do not forget our Diasporan of the week, who is also a medical doctor. The Diaspora news is equally very informative, educative, and entertaining. Welcome to the Diaspora. I am Gabriel Odu. Let's begin our conversation after this background report by Joy Osiagu and I. Nigeria, like any other country, has a set piece of our foreign policy, which is the protection and preservation of Nigeria's national interest. Nigeria's national interest is, among others, to remain an indivisible country, secure, and be at peace with our neighbors.
We are faced with new realities in a rapidly changing world. And as the situation demands, you have to go look inwards and rejig your foreign policy to be in tandem with the new realities of a modern world, a 21st century world.
Since independence, Nigeria's foreign policy has not wavered. It has remained stable and focused, with Africa as the centerpiece to citizens' diplomacy as well as economic diplomacy.
President Muhammadu Buhari has identified 3 basic areas which every foreign service officer must know: security, anti-corruption, economic development, poverty, power sector. These are issues that have serious foreign policy implications.
With a new administration in place, is Nigeria's foreign policy direction shifting? Minister of State Foreign Affairs Khadija Abba Ibrahim says Nigeria's domestic imperatives underpin her foreign policy direction.
The government of President Muhammadu Buhari has reiterated 3 areas whereby the domestic policy lies, and that will concurrently run with the foreign policy as well. And now these 3 areas, the economy, corruption, and security.
Experts on foreign affairs say Nigeria's foreign policy direction is in the best interest of Nigeria and the global community.
A strong desire for a robust relationship in the non-oil sector was the major highlight of the bilateral relations between Canada and Nigeria in the year 2015. Global Affairs Canada, top government officials from Nigeria, and members of the private sector in both countries deliberated on how to make the shift from the oil sector grow the Nigerian economy at the 3rd Canada-Nigeria Binational Commission Business Forum in Ottawa.
I'm happy that there is a new administration right now that takes a lot of things quite seriously, and we hope that the climate will completely change.
The Foreign Investment Promotion and Protection Agreement Treaty adds value to the existing rapport, while the Nigerian Investment Promotion Commission provides reassurance for investors in its legal framework.
The NIPC Act provides guarantees against expropriation of businesses and also guarantees payment of fair and adequate compensation in line with international standards.
Also, issues bordering on consular and immigration matters were addressed fully.
The Nigerian mission in Canada also experienced enhanced service delivery, especially to Nigerians in Canada in the year under review. The immigration unit was overhauled, paving the way for a vibrant immigration service delivery.
They were time conscious and the wait time wasn't long.
2015 was a year of transformation on the Canadian Parliament Hill. A new government was elected.
It's an incredible pleasure for me to be here today before you to
Justin
present,
Trudeau,
to
the son
Canada,
of a former Canadian
a
Prime
cabinet
Minister
that
and
looks
also of the
like
Liberal
Canada.
opposition party, was officially sworn in as the 23rd Prime Minister of Canada.
Bear true allegiance.
We now hear from the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Bulus Lolo, on Nigeria's foreign policy direction.
Well, thank you so very much, Gabriel. We are asking where we are with Nigeria's foreign policy. We have a full team on ground with the assumption of office of the two ministers in the ministry, Mr. Geoffrey Onyema, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, and Honorable Khadija Bukar Ibrahim as the Minister of State. And it has been a glorious year for Nigeria's foreign policy insofar as the new administration is concerned. Came on the wave of a very credible, free and fair election that expressed the popular will and wish of Nigerians, acknowledged by the international community, and equally was a milestone in the sense that for the first time in the history of Nigeria, an opposition party defeated a government in power and ushered in the opposition as government and then the former ruling party as opposition. This is a plus for Nigeria's democracy. And because it is a plus for our democracy in itself, it translates into a credible foreign policy commodity, of which the presence of the president, unscrupulously transparent and a man of integrity, he is a product that does not need any advertising, right, because his personal qualities precede him and are widely known. And since his assumption of office, and you would remember in many fora he has said himself that he began his administration literally with a visit to the neighboring countries. The third day of his assumption of office saw him visiting Niger, and in tow he visited Chad, would have gone to Cameroon but for his attendance at the G7 summit that took place in Germany. But he subsequently went to Cameroon, has visited Benin, has visited Ghana, and it's been a remarkable year, like I said. And so we are ending the year on a very high note and looking forward to 2016 that will equally be very engaging. In the course of the meeting that took place early this month in South Africa during the Africa-China Forum,
yes,
Mr. President had a bilateral meeting on the sides of that forum with the Chinese president, and he renewed his commitment to visit China sometime in 2016. This says that Mr. President still has his eyes on his foreign policy. It also says that he is deeply and personally involved in his foreign policy and will remain so. And a very quick word I must say here about the nexus between domestic and foreign policy.
Right.
That what happens at home impacts the conduct of a government, the behavior of that government abroad. And where you have internal cohesion, then the government is free to act with confidence, to act with a certain degree of assurance that they are doing the right thing. And in all of this, the last 7 months have proven that Nigeria is riding on a very high wave.
2016, are we changing direction? Is our foreign policies looking forward to still security, economy, and any other aspect like also corruption?
Indeed, those were the three main pillars,
right,
on which the present government campaigned and won its election. Mr. President has made as number one priority the necessity to secure the country the necessity to put an end to the insurgency in the northeast. And results are showing that the capacity of Boko Haram to inflict damage, take control and hold territory in this country has significantly been degraded. And talking about the shift or no shift in our foreign policy, it is not a shift, but a question of putting more emphasis. How do you capitalize on the advantages that you have? And if at one time we talked about citizen diplomacy and the emphasis now is more on economic diplomacy, you are saying one and the same thing,
right,
except that one, you are putting one before the other. The citizen remains the center of our foreign policy pursuit. The well-being of the average Nigerian is the purpose of government.
Let's talk health now. Some Nigerians in the diaspora are really concerned with the health care system in Nigeria. Dr. Patricia Okaigwe embarked on a medical mission to Nigeria in December last year. Let's know what transpired. Is it your second time or third time?
My fifth time, actually.
Your fifth time. Okay. Now you are a friend of the diaspora. All right. For people who have not the opportunity to have watched you on the diaspora for the fifth time, can you tell us who you are?
My name is Patricia Okigwe. I am a registered nurse from the diaspora. I practice nursing and also teach nursing at Fellow Dickinson University. It's in New Jersey.
How are you impacting with these skills you have acquired?
Most recently, this December, from December 21 through the 24th, I was able to render service to Ihube community in Imo State. I found out that there were so many health problems and people do not really go to see their primary care provider. Well, the initiative, I called it Ukigwe Health, Empowerment and Learning Program. The name is Health Empowerment in the sense that we will teach the patients, the community, how to take care of themselves. By that, we will empower them to do health care. Majority of them, and as was evident from our services, is that they know they have a problem, but they don't do anything about that problem. And even if they want to do something about it, they will relate it to one voodoo or one juju or one somebody had done that for them. Lack of knowledge primarily, seconded by, which is the bigger portion of the whole thing, lack of facilities, lack of where to go to and who to back them up when they need to go to those, for those to seek the health care. Well, during their outreach, we found out that majority of them that have high blood pressure and they know that their blood pressure is high, they are very much aware of it. And then when you ask them, what are you taking about it? Oh, the doctor asked me to take this medication and I only take it when I think I need to take it. And when you ask them further, you find out that when they think they need it, it really translates to when they can afford to buy those medications.
So what did the number cover during this your initiative?
The number, oh boy. Yeah. Well, the numbers is approximately 2,000 patients that we saw. Initially, I projected like maximum 500 people will come out for the entire 1 week event. But on the first day, before 10 o'clock, we have over 800 people registered already, standing in line to be seen. And I'm like, oh my God, this is way beyond my expectation. The only way we coped is because we had planned to give minimum of 3 months supply of the blood pressure and diabetes medications. And then we'll have another 3 months as a backup because I had hired a community health nurse that will follow up after we've left to check the blood pressures of all the people we've identified as at risk of having high blood pressure or that were treated during the events. So we projected to have, we give 3 months and then we have additional 3 months for her to give them, to give additional medications. When they come up to her, then she'll be able to give them the same prescription we gave before. So that was the only way we were able to cope with the numbers. In terms of getting their medications, 2 things I'm planning to do. One will be to give them some money to buy medications for those that cannot afford, because there are majority of them that cannot afford their medications. I'll leave some money for the outreach worker to help them buy their medications. So in other words, she will buy those medications and they will come to her to get it. And the only way to document what they are taking this medication is for them to present themselves. She'll check their blood pressure and they will know that they're actually taking it. My second plan, which it's going to happen, will be coming back in June with additional supply of medications based on what we have identified.
If you're just joining us, this is the Diaspora on the NTA.
NTA, Nigerian Television Authority. For more information and news updates, visit our website at www.nta.ng, or you can follow us on Twitter at NTA News Now, or you can like us on Facebook at NTA Network News. Stay connected on our YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/NTA News Online. Watch our live stream at www.nta.ng/live. NTA, you can't beat the rich.
Glad to know you're still there. Now to our Diasporan of the Week. We'd like to know you. What's your name, ma'am?
My name is Isioma Okoba, and I'm a medical doctor by profession, family physician, board certified family physician in Atlanta, Georgia. And I'm also the CEO and medical director of First Lithuania Medical Center in Atlanta, Georgia. And I'm also the CEO and founder of Dr. Isioma Okoba Foundation, based here in Nigeria. I'm also an associate professor with the Emory University School of Medicine, Atlanta, Georgia, and also an associate professor with the Morehouse School of Medicine in Atlanta, Georgia, where I precept medical students who are going through their medical training. So that's, and I'm happily married with 3 children.
Contributing to your host country.
I have, because like I said, I do have my own medical practice in Atlanta, which I run, and we see a lot of patients over there. And I also have privileges in the hospital where we can admit patients and treat patients with different conditions. I also give back to the host country, which is the United States of America, because they have actually given me a lot too. So the way I give back to them will be helping train the medical students through the medical schools, like I told you, Morehouse School of Medicine, which I'm an associate prof there, and also Emory School of Medicine. So they rotate through my practice and I help precept those medical students. I also give back to the host country through a non-profit. It's called a Physicians Care Clinic. This is a clinic that's set up for patients who have no medical insurance and who can afford to go to see a doctor in a regular medical practice. So what we do, we come together and give them free medical consultation and also give them free medications. So those are the contributions that I give to my host country, America.
Right. America has benefited for the past 15 years. So your own home country, Nigeria. What are you doing for your country?
I'll tell you, I am doing a lot. I have done a lot for my host country because I know this is my home country,
Right.
and I know. I mean, you have to know where you're coming from to know where you're going. So I know this is my home country. So here are the things I have done in the past. In the past, I started a non-profit called the Delta Doctors in Diaspora. And now I also have a non-profit called Dr. Isioma Okoba Foundation. And basically what these non-profit organizations do, it's we organize medical doctors and nurses and health educators, and we go to the rural communities in Delta State. I am originally from Delta State. So my passion is with preventive care. And with preventive care, because we all know that prevention is the key to a successful healthcare system, and that preventing the diseases is actually the bedrock of any healthcare system. So what we do with these foundations is that I take the doctors to the rural communities where they have no access whatsoever to healthcare and have no money to actually purchase these medications. And so we organize health fairs there, and then we see them in free consultations and also give them free medications. We also do health education. We educate them on cardiopulmonary resuscitation, which is, where you can resuscitate somebody if you find somebody unconscious. Instead of them going around and shouting, they can actually save a life that way. So we do such health educations and also teach them how to prevent chronic diseases such as hypertension, diabetes, because all these lead to long-term morbidity and mortality. So what we do, we just finished 2 days of health fair in Delta State. Communities were involved were Ibudo and Onichubo, and these 2 communities are in Delta State. So we treated over 500 patients on each day, and we gave them free medications and also did the health education. I also have contributed to my country. I built a community health care center, actually a 10-bed hospital in my village called Inibudo, and it's called Stephen Oko Memorial Community Health Center, where I pay a doctor, and I also have nurses there and auxiliary staff. The doctor is there 24 hours, 7 days a week. And the reason that moved me to do this...
Who pays the doctors?
I do. I personally pay the
Okay,
doctors.
you're going to do that in my village, all right?
You're
going to do that in my village? You have done that in your village, you're going to do my village?
Well, by the special grace of God, what we say is that my people have this adage that the dance fits you more when you start the dance from your hometown. So I have started the dance in my hometown, and so by the special grace of God, we can keep dancing to different communities and come to your village.
Thank you very much.
All right. So basically, I do the funding, and we pay the doctor and the nurses and the whole staff, and we have admissions, we take deliveries, and everything is free. Okay, and I send them medications from America. And what prompted this was because in the past 8 years, I have been coming with doctors. We do the medical missions, give them medications for 2 weeks, 1 month, and then go away. And then, I asked myself, is that really good medical care? And the answer was no. The only way I could feel fulfilled was to continue that care. And so that's what prompted building the community hospital in my village, because as we speak, my village has no medical doctor, has never seen one till I brought one. Okay, so that was what drove that passion. And so knowing that the people in my community and the communities around can have access to a medical doctor and have quality medical care, it's actually taking healthcare to the grassroots. And that way, we're helping the healthcare system prevent a lot of diseases and treat them and catch them. Like right now, we're also working on immunizations of the children in my community. And so my hospital is going to actually end up hopefully as a center for immunization in Delta State.
Concoction is a movie based on the research of US-based neuropathologist Dr. Bennett Omalu, a Nigerian, of course, who discovered chronic traumatic disease condition in American football players. The film is acted by Will Smith. Report is presented by Abdul Malik Adio.
The dispute between the National Football League and football players was settled in April 2015 as a federal judge in America approved $1 billion settlement in a class action suit over concussion. The agreement provides up to $5 million for players with serious medical attention associated with repeated head trauma, an historical medical discovery and agitation made possible by a Nigerian-born pathologist, Dr. Bennett Omalu.
When I was a boy, heaven was here, and America was here. You could be anything, you could do anything.
Based on 2009 GQ publication on the true story of Dr. Bennett Omalu, a Nigerian-born forensic pathologist who fought against efforts by the National Football League to suppress his research on the brain damage suffered by professional football players.
Tape, needles, Vicodin, Toradol, whatever it takes to keep them in the game. It's business.
Get me a meeting with the commissioner. They don't want to talk to you.
The NFL has known about the concussion issue for years.
He was confronted by fierce resistance from doctors, lawyers, and executives employed by the Entrant Corporation.
They're terrified of you. You're going to war with a corporation that owns a day of the week.
This is bigger than they are. They have to listen to us now. It's really about a man who was committed to the truth, and through his faith in his God was able to make people's lives better.
Each and every one of us, what separates us is far less than what binds us together as one common people. That is what this movie is about.
The disease that no one has ever seen before.
They use the head as a weapon.
The sports medicine movie released just after the NFL season tuned towards the playoffs was supposed to be the moment when the science of football's concussion crisis reached its widest audience.
These men are not machines. We must honor our warriors.
But one thing I know, no matter what your ethnicity may be, no matter where you are on the face of the earth, love is love, and truth is truth.
Tell the truth.
Our email remains diaspora@yahoo.com or text only to +234 8033 114000. That's it for this week. Bye.